A lot of people are wondering, is Emmanuel Forbes going to be a starter this season? And a lot of things would point to him being a starter. But when you think about his last season, and not just because Jack Del Rio was his coach and his plays were played out and he didn't mix it up as often. No, let's not just talk about that. Let's talk about Emmanuel Forbes, how he had a lot of missed tackles. And just that being his first year, he had a few injuries. And a lot of people could say that's because of his weight and him not having enough weight on him. So it allowed him to get injured more often. And then not even that. Let's talk about the fact that his Eagles game, where he let up so many plays. And of course, don't get me wrong, Emmanuel Forbes, he's a ball hawk. He has remarkable speed, a remarkable catch-up speed at that. He can do these things, but one, he's not physical. He's not. And he doesn't have enough weight to be physical. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. People don't understand how hard it is to build weight, especially when you have a high metabolism and it's hard for you to gain weight. And your body just been adjusted to just not putting on a lot of weight. So in a way, a high metabolism, I would love a high metabolism, but I'm not an NFL player. So that's one of them things he got to continue to build on. And that could take months, that could take years. It doesn't just happen overnight. And as you can see, I'm sure Emmanuel Forbes has been working on it, since he joined the league last season. So it's one of those things, it's like hard to really prove unless you see him step on a scale. And of course, it's not what we all want. It's not the weight that we've been looking for. It's not the pounds that we want to see, but he's making progress. And you got to commend the guy on his progress. But I don't know if it's enough progress for Dan Quinn to actually allow him to be a starter at the cornerback position. And you have a guy like Mike Sanderstill, who is small in stature, but this guy is super physical. And it's crazy. Like, I think if it came down to the slot cornerback position, I think he would take it. And right now on the outside, I have Benjamin St-Juste and I have Michael Davis. And to me, I have Mike Sanderstill right there in the slot cornerback position because it just seems like he wants it more. And I think he's the type of guy that Dan Quinn wants. That's the guy he wants. He wants a guy that's physical. So it's hard to see a guy like Emmanuel Forbes in that position. And you have the type of guys that Dan Quinn likes and plays with on his teams. They're tall, they're stocky, they're big guys. Like, just when you think about the guys they brought in, Michael Davis, come on now, 6'2", 6'3", he's up there. And then the fact that Benjamin St-Juste is 6'3", I believe 6'2", 6'3", he's every team's dream cornerback because they want them to be tall. And, in some ways they want them to be in the slot position. But that's already taken up. And then you have a physical guy that they got out of the draft, that they handpicked out of the draft because they wanted him. They liked his play style. When you compare Mike Sanderstill's last season to Emmanuel Forbes' last college season, you think about, like, wow, like, this guy is basically a better version of Emmanuel Forbes. Like, last season, Mike Sanderstill had 6 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns. Like, come on now. Like, this is a more well-rounded guy. And Mike Sanderstill's 185 coming out of the draft. So he's already in a place where a lot of people would want a cornerback to be. And of course, he's only 5'10" and Emmanuel Forbes is 6'1", but that has nothing to do with heart and tenacity and just the fight. So the fact that Emmanuel Forbes is going up against this type of caliber, in a way, it's like, I don't know if he's going to be a starter. And the fact that they're also putting him on special teams, it's like, yo, I don't know what to tell you, because it don't seem like he's going to be a Devin Hester or a Cordell Patterson, a guy that's going to be used on special teams and starting at cornerback or wide receiver or running back. Like, it's not that. He hasn't even mastered one position. So to me, it seems like they're just trying to figure out how to keep this first round draft pick on the team. They're trying to exhaust everything they can to see what he can do before they decide to give him up. And if he doesn't play out to be the guy that we want him to be, I think he's going to be getting shipped off next season. But what makes it even worse was the fact that you have a guy that went one round after you, was way better than your whole entire season. And that guy being Quan Martin. I couldn't even say his name. But Quan Martin just destroyed everything that Emmanuel Forbes did last season. And it's just like, damn, like, bruh. He just came in clutch so many times. So, and he came in clutch so many times, and not just the preseason, but the actual season. And not just the actual season, but the preseason, the end of the season. Like, he really came through. And another thing is, I've been hearing a lot about Quan Martin in this offseason. So it's like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen to Emmanuel Forbes, because one, Quan Martin can play anywhere. He's that good. But Emmanuel Forbes, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if they're considering putting you on special teams, it's a wrap. So we're going to see what happens when we got to put the pads on come training camp. And we're going up against the Dolphins, and we're playing in the offseason, and we're trying to see during these joint practices if he still got it, if he can do great. We got to hear his name more often. And if we can do that, then I'll have a lot more confidence in saying that Emmanuel Forbes is going to be a starter this season. I'm out.